Hello everyone and welcome to another live from the workshop. So today we have, I think probably this is the first of my Series 13 or Flux, whichever you want to refer to it as, customs. It is of course the new Sontarans. So I actually started this quite a while back when the leaked pictures came out, but they were so grainy that in the end I just decided to wait, and I kept waiting, and now obviously we finally got these higher quality pictures, so I've been able to do a bit more to them. So as you can see, I've already done a lot of sculpting. We already have here, so we have the helmet with the helmet collar with the three things on it. I have here the shoulder pieces. I did try to sculpt these originally, but they were so difficult to do. So these are actually designed by James Lee and are 3D printed. Very much thanks to him for doing those, because it would have taken me way too long to do those. So those are going off to the side for the moment. And then we also have here the head. So for this I've decided to use a classic Sontaran head, obviously, but this is actually the head that I had previously used for my Stike Sontaran custom, just because, you know, I had it spare and it had a load of milliput on it already, so I've chipped off as much as I can and added on some new. So we're going to paint up that, but the first things first is going to be painting up the body. So on the body itself, obviously we've got lots of milliput sculpting, and the other thing that I have done to make this the same height as a new series Sontaran, as it were, because they are sort of more squat when you see them in the behind the scenes photos, is I've trimmed off a bit of the legs, which is obviously also disguised on the front by the armor, and then obviously I've got some new series hands on there as well. But the other thing that I've done for this, which was a little bit difficult but I did manage it, was to swap over the legs. So this is a Stike body with the store or Steyr or whichever one is we got in the recent B&M sets. I can't remember, it was so long ago. Legs, because then I wanted him to have the the knee pads and things like that, but obviously I didn't want him to have the elbow pads because they don't have the elbow pads. So first things first is going to be to do an overall repaint of the body, because the body that we are seeing in the series coming is a bit more greyish, I suppose, in sort of terms like that. So I need to start off by painting that first. And here we have our finished Series 13, or Flux as we should call it, Sontaran. So obviously, as usual, very pleased with how this has come out, but I am particularly pleased with how the weatherings come out, especially around the helmet. As you can see, I've already done the helmet as well. Very pleased with the head sculpt as well. The helmet does still fit on the head, and whilst I do not have them to hand at this very moment, I will be doing head casts of this for sale up on my eBay. So either they may already be up by the time you see this video, or they will be coming very soon, but please go and check those out. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with how this has come out. I really like this design because it is something that is both very new and also harkens back to the you know, the classic Sontaran designs. You know, it's got the armor plating of the new series, but the actual sort of tunic design is very classic looking, and I think it does work very well. And of course, you know, the helmet and you know, and the collar is also very classic looking. It's nice that we've got also the difference of, you know, the little insignias on the collar, which, you know, for the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice they have the sort of Sontaran pod hatching on them, which obviously my custom version doesn't, but you know, at that level of detail it's quite difficult to do that. The other thing I did as well, just finally as a very quick measure, is I've painted the gloves and the shoes a bit more of a gloss black, because they are meant to be sort of more you know, leathery in terms of the material that they're made from. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this has come out. I certainly hope that CO do give us an official version of this figure, but I'm debating whether we would actually see this officially, simply from a cost perspective. You know, while I'm here talking about the custom one, I might as well raise the point of an official one. You know, an official one would be lovely to see, but when you look at this, you know, a lot of people I'm sure would turn around and go, they can use the classic one as a base, obviously, as I've done here and as many others are doing. But here's the thing, unlike customizers, they have to make lots of new parts for their, you know, for their figures. So in this case, for example, the forearms would have to be, the forearms and shins would have to be new pieces, because the boots would have to have a new type of armor put on them, the arms would have to have a new type of armor put on them, obviously the hands would have to be slightly altered if you wanted the armor on the back of the hands, the entire torso section, because you've got the you know, you've got the collar, you know, on the front, the armor plating on the front and on the back, and then you've got the belt around the middle, you've got also the little sort of, I'm going to call it a pouch, even though it's not a pouch, sort of bit of plating at the front. You know, here's the thing, is that I don't think it's going to be as simple as just use the classic version, which is, again, as I said, I know that's what a lot of people are going to say, but when you actually break it down, the only way that they could realistically do this by using the classic one would be to paint on all of the armor, and let's be honest, that might be the most cost-effective version, but it's not anything any of us want. And obviously they'd have to do the shoulder armor as well, would be an entirely new piece, which would then also mean having to create new shoulders to have a fixing to put the armor in. You know, it is just something worth considering, you know, because I know it's going to come up in conversation and people are going to go, well, if they use the classic one as a base, unfortunately, even if you take the classic one as a base, you'd have to have so many new parts. You'd have to basically retool the entire classic one to create one of these. But, you know, it's not the first time I've said don't expect an official version of that, and we've had an official version, so I sincerely hope that character options do prove me wrong, because I know a lot of people would love to see an official version of this. But that brings to a close another live from the workshop. So, as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.